I run a nonprofit organization based in Berkeley, California called Venture Strategies for Health and Development. And we aim to help stabilize the global population by the end of the century. We know that the UN estimates range very widely from almost 7 billion to over 16 billion by the end of the century. And we are currently at about 7.5 billion. And so the choices that we make in the coming decades will have major effects on the future population of Earth. So the way in which we're going about this is a few things I'd like to mention. One of them is kind of the population factor. It's trying to raise awareness about population and how it's affected and its effects on the Earth. We're also trying to work to separate links between having sex and having children. So we have a project called Optio that's very active in Central America, and it's making sure that women have reproductive health options and can have access to family planning methods as well as safe abortion in the region. We also have an initiative called the Oasis Initiative, which I'm very much involved in. I helped found it as a project of UC Berkeley and now also run it through my organization. Oasis stands for Organizing to Advance Solutions in the Sahel. The Sahel is an ecological region of Africa. It's basically the southern border of the Sahara Desert, and it includes some of the poorest countries in the world. It has some of the highest fertility rates and the fastest growing populations in the world. Of course, these countries have contributed negligible amounts to climate change, but they are and will continue to be affected disproportionately on things such as, especially around food security and access to water and arable land. So the Oasis Initiative, like Venture Strategies, we're aiming to catalyze a demographic transition, which means bringing down fertility rates, but especially by upholding girls' rights to stay in school and not be married as children, and women's rights to have access to family planning. So that's a bit about what we're doing. I wanted to say that both the girls' education and the family planning pieces are really important, and I helped Project Drawdown with some of the analysis about how those two approaches could affect the global population between now and mid-century. And our calculations are that together they could contribute to reducing by over 100 million gigatons CO2 emissions by mid-century. So they're very powerful levers on climate change and also, like I said, basic human rights for girls and women.